Hello, Fightful Faithful. Welcome to another episode of, the thing on Tuesdays. Kate, do your deal.
I mean, the least clever segue of all time, but it is the thing that we do on Tuesday. It is the Sour Graps Variety Hour here on the Fightful NXT post show for January 3rd. Get in your super chats, get in your humper chats. For pro wrestling, the night is just beginning. It is Wrestle Kingdom tonight. Mercedes Varnado is in Japan. I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about Sasha and Bayley and what that meant to women's wrestling since it happened on this brand before it was a hollow shell of itself. But get in those super chats and humper chats, would you? Let's talk about Sasha Banks. There's also going to be a Sasha Banks Bayley Takeover Brooklyn watch along happening on Fightful Overbooked. We're watching just that match. It's gonna be quick and painless. There's gonna be a Wrestle Kingdom watch along as well. Some of us have to sleep, so I will not be attending that, but I will be talking Sasha and Bayley over on Overbooked after this. So feel free to join us there. We're just gonna pay ode to the legit boss as she moves into this new stage of her career. So happy Mercedes Varnado Day.
Indeed, and also from the Caesars.
Of course.
First things first. I should probably address the elephant in the room. For those of you who are not watching, the end of the stream last night, there was something we have to talk about it now. And Julie Cutler brings it up, saying, "Did Linda find her glasses?" And of course, the answer is, of course I did. They were right here. I don't know how I missed them. You know how it's always in the last place you look? It turns out it was actually the first place I looked. I just didn't look hard enough. So there you are.
Oh my goodness. Well, we're just glad to have you back in proper form, Linda.
But I am here. And I wanted to also say, read this because it's Meet Enormous. It's my wonderful Meet Enormous. I wanted to read prayers for Damore Hamlin. This is true.
Oh.
Happy New Year, SGS, and happy birthday, Meet Enormous. Oh, wait, that's me. Meet Enormous, happy birthday to Meet Enormous. I want to see happy birthdays in the chat for Mr. Meet Enormous because he deserves it.
I feel like maybe Linda owes Meet Enormous a happy birthday, Marilyn Monroe style.
Listen, he's welcome to request it or someone on his behalf, but I can't go around just giving out freebies. That time of my life is long past. Paul Elizabeth, your dad says Happy New Year to the SGS, the Council, the Sisters, Sir JW of Pringle, Alpha Bill, Team Kalex, and even Matthew Plus. May 2023 truly rock. Let's hope.
Yeah, we don't acknowledge Matthew Plus. That's very sweet of you, but
JW Pringle says Happy New Year of Alex of Sours, Kate, the best kayfabe sister a guy could ask for, Papa Paul E, the one I aspire to be, Sisters, Council, and Luis. As we move into 2023, may NXT be better? If not better, at least hilariously awful. I want to call attention to this. I believe it's probably just a typo. But he's written Lewis, which is a very different thing. Instead of Louise, he's written Lewis, which would be like Lewis, which just sounds like I'm yelling at the manager of a deli. Lewis, what are you doing?
Or Louis Dangor, as sometimes
or Louis Danger. Yeah. All right, great.
Thank you for the very generous super chat, by the way.
Yes. Thank you for that. Also, because we can hold on 1 second. Meat puns. For Meat Enormous's happy birthday. Meat puns within reason. Let's be careful. But all different cuts of meat. Ham, beef, chicken, any kind of poultry, gabagool, any kind of meat in the meat family. Not the pun that I believe Meat Enormous is referring to with his own name, but I believe.
What are you doing to me, man?
I believe in the SGS. I believe they can do this
don't.
while walking the tightrope. I believe they can.
I love the SGS so much. They're still wrestling fans. I'm still talking about doing backbreakers into Bluechew reads. We're still all degenerates, even though we're the best of the degenerates that are out there. I mean,
credit to Graham. Sorry, yes, credit to Graham, whose idea it was.
Credit to Graham.
Yeah, it's good.
So Graham's to blame. Great.
Wait. What was Orion's idea? I missed Orion's idea. What was it? What was that one? What was Orion's idea? I missed. Oh well, who cares? Gosh. Napoleon Dynamite voice. Oh, I get it. Okay. Gosh. Was that better? I don't really have one. I think I had one in 2004 when it came out. So
Tina,
Sean Stasiak, if you know, you know. That's true, because he was meat.
There's gonna be so many like Batista just innuendos.
Meat substitutes. Sure. Just
My dad watches, guys. Come on.
Listen. Listen. A nice juicy steak. Porterhouse Hobbs is excellent. Porterhouse Hobbs is the leader in the clubhouse. Guys, your pun to beat is Porterhouse Hobbs. I don't think you can do it, but I also think I want to see you try. Porterhouse Hobbs is really, really good. That's really good.
That's really, really good.
Yeah. Happy New Year. Is this a thing? I'm on cough medicine, so choose the bad pun. Happy New Year! Happy New Year to everybody, and happy New Sangha. They were both on the show tonight. Graham B says, "I'll watch more minutes of Kalex than Wrestle Kingdom 17 today." We don't plan on going that long. Oh, you mean you're not going to watch that at all because it is very late for some parts of the world. I understand. Jeremy Hines, my God, says, "Had surgery today to repair my shattered femur from a car accident I was in. Glad I can come on and be distracted by you both. Love you both and the podcast." We love you, Jeremy Hines, and we're very sorry to hear about a shattered femur.
From a car accident.
Awful.
Yikes. Least we could do is talk about wrestling and probably sing songs. But healing thoughts to you, man. Feel better. I'm so sorry. And I'm glad that you had your surgery at least so that you can get on the road.
You can recover. You get on the road to recovery. JW Pringle talking about the Lewis and Louise says the auto Corvette got me. I hate the auto Corvette. Does anybody else have one of those things where I don't know why, but my autocorrect every time I type the word has, HAS, it autocorrects it to had. Like it needs me to be talking about things in the past tense, and I don't know why. I know I'm typing has. I'm hitting the S, but it says no. You meant had, and I get very angry about it because it ruins all of my tweets.
No, but I had something similar where it was a very common word that I think it was just the word "the." It was turning into something else, which was a nightmare.
Yeah. These are good so far. Meat substitute is good for Mr. Showtime. I like New Day Old Ham Hocks. New Day Hawks. New Day Hawks. New Day Hawks. That's Ryan Ben. Roy Costin says Mignon Breaker. But I just want it to be what's this? Midian. But instead of Midian, it's Midian. Mignon. Midian? No. Naked Midian.
There you go.
No? There you go. Naked Midian. Luis Villarreal says ribeye WC. That's really good. That's really good.
It's also because it's a rib too. I like it.
Yeah, also very true. And Jam Beard says Owen Little Nugget Heart.
Oh. I was thinking of him the best 24 hours a lot.
Yeah. Meat Hook.
Hook's been the center of a lot of really good puns.
Yeah. Jake Salazar says Ricky Steaks. Not Ricky Starks, Ricky Steaks.
Absolute Ricky Steaks.
This is really good. Chris Pereira, this is really good. This is really good. Bron Steakiker. That's really good. Porterhouse Hobbs, I think, slightly edges it out, but I don't know. this might actually be the new leader. Jake Salazar goes CM Pork. And I think
Chicago made pork. It's perfect. Chick Magnet Pork.
Chick Magnet Pork. Charles Montgomery Pork.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh no.
Von Wagyu is very good. Von Wagyu is very, very, very good. Oh, that's good. That's good. Henry T. Casey, Braun Steakiker, Adam Hanger Steakman Page.
Oh, that's very good.
Baby back Rib Breaker.
That's very good too.
Ricky Steaks, we've got that one over. Thank you there. We got a couple of people going in there with that one. I like this one from Ryan Sullivan. Sergeant Slaughterhouse.
Oh, that's really good too.
And NCB with a humper chat. Ham Bigelow. Ham Bigelow is really, really good.
So is this
Brandon Cutlet. You guys are on fire. Happy birthday to Meet Normus. And thank you for
Happy birthday,
these.
Meet Normus. And happy healing, Jeremy, too.
And happy healing to Jeremy Hines. Apollo Crews versus Carmelo Hayes was good. And then Trick Williams got involved, which made the match not as good as it could have been. But this is a long, drawn-out feud where Apollo Crews and Axiom will be friends and do tag matches versus Carmelo and Trick Williams for like 3 months because the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And I don't know. Apollo Crews and Carmelo Hayes deserve to have a match that is a one-on-one match. Here's the thing where they did this thing where Carmelo Hayes came out first. They're like, tonight, Carmelo Hayes goes one-on-one with Apollo Crews. Does he? Does he though? Because like he never does. Because I'm not saying like Carmelo Hayes isn't great. I'm saying you have decided to book him with a lackey who gets involved with every single match and makes Carmelo Hayes less of a star than he possibly could be. That's on you, HBK. You decided this. This is he could just go out there and wrestle matches and win or lose. He'd look better than if he had a lackey at ringside who gets involved in every single match. I'm sorry. Like, you don't have to do that. They did it. And this match to me suffered because of it, unfortunately.
I just think Bret Hart would be better at booking. Some people want to watch the world burn, and I'm one of them. No, I agree. I feel like it's just so also lather, rinse, repeat with that, right? Like, I kind of feel the same way in AEW a little bit about what they do with MJF. It's a little less overwrought there, but it's like, oh, are you going to fight 5 guys to get to MJF? Okay. Different now in the title reign, obviously, and done, I think, a little bit better, but the same thing of like, I guess there it was, you were building the heat until you finally got your hands on MJF, right? Here it feels like we're running the same playbook over and over again in the same way, but this actually makes Carmelo Hayes look weaker, and it's not building any heat. It's just watering down the story a little bit. And that's the other thing. It's like Carmelo Hayes is legitimately great, so I just want to see him wrestle without interference, just like once. And it's also not fair kind of to Trick Williams, because it's like, man, you're just for a guy named Trick, you're kind of a one-trick pony, except for that one weird boxing match that you had. So it's just tired. We're going to talk about this later with Alba Fyre. I'm guessing there's going to be call-ups at Royal Rumble or the draft, because I think some of these people are just kind of floating around, Alex. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to call attention to this one from Emily Cease. This is really, 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 really good.
Of course, the Ceases, man.
Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews.
Emily, get out of here. Eat your chicken with your cheese ball on the side.
Oh
my gosh.
So
Apollo
good.
Crews.
Apollo. It's not even yours? Whose was it? I only saw your chat because I was going back through here. These is really, really good. Apoyo, man. Whose was it? This is so good.
That's really, really good.
I think he meant to just up it from 42 to 45 on the pun counter, but Luis wrote 425, and at this pace, I think you guys are going to shatter that record. 425 so puns or bust.
Or just, it should be that many points.
That's really good. Yeah, it was Graham B. Man, it's so good. So good.
That was Graham B? Excellent.
Oh, yeah. Great. Roy Costin? Or was it? What was it? I missed it. There's so many. I have to read all of these right back to back. They're just coming in so fast. Okay. Chris Mueller, Sirloin Alfred Hayes, and Sasha Shanks.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Derek Evans sent in Steakhouse of Black.
Very good.
And Graham B very helpfully let us know that because he meant to say that, but he just left a blank one. So thank you so much. Ruth's Chris Masters Steakhouse.
Oh my gosh, that's excellent.
Scooter the Gamer says ground Chuck Taylor and brisket Baker.
Oh, very good. Bonus points if you can include Jericho or MJF because they did a whole damn steak dinner, guys.
That's true. That's true. DNC Digital says the Young Chucks.
Very good.
Mr. Showtime says Nikita Pork Loins.
I like it.
Jeremy Hines, who's recovering, says, I'm just a sexy boy, RD. I'm just a sexy boy, RD.
I'm not your boy, RD.
Ryan Sullivan says,
canned. I know I'm tasty.
I got the grill marks that drive the girls wild. Ryan Sullivan says, I mean, Abdullah the Butcher?
Oh my gosh. I like the ones that are sitting right there. I respect that.
Yeah. Oh, this is good. Teriyaki Stratton from your father. Booker T-Bone, obviously.
Oh my gosh.
Taki Toaster says Bron Baconer instead of Bron
very good.
Breaker.
Oh my god. Matt Cardona Blue.
Matt Cardona Blue. Roy Costin says yes. Pollo Cruz. So good. Pollo Cruz.
So good.
Meet Norma says Kiana James, pork accountant. Which is honestly the kind of the same thing as a porn accountant, but thank you.
Oh my goodness. If you are trying to do your taxes, guys, and you are not performing the way you want to be, all right, you're gonna have to visit a pork accountant, and you don't want to walk into that situations with your forms unprepared.
You don't
want to put yourself in a pressure situation where you're not getting the most on your return. No. So, my gosh, when you go to visit your pork accountant, you better bring Bluechew.
Is your penis soft? Is it difficult to get hard? Do you have issues with sexual performance? Do you have issues with sexual confidence? Bluechew.com, code Fightful, gives you your first shipment of Bluechew for free. It will help you get a harder, stronger erection. It will make you more confident in your sexual performance. You take an online questionnaire. You work with an online physician. You don't wait in line at the pharmacy. You don't wait in line at the doctor's office. It's prepared and shipped direct in a discreet package. That way, nobody knows that you are getting Bluechew in order to make your penis erect. Bluechew and the code Fightful gets you your first shipment free if you want an erect penis. I'm going to end the ad now.
I just know that read is one take. I just know. Like, you guys have seen Sean enough to know. You know Sean. That was definitely a one-take read.
Yeah. Do you think he does more than one take? Like, no. He's too... No.
You don't think he gets tongue-tied even on some of them?
Perfectionist?
He's like...
Him? No.
Yeah, that's true.
Second guess himself? What are you talking about? JD Pringle says, rib by rib by rib by rib by Soho. Rib by rib by rib by rib by Soho. Luis Villarreal says Kazuchika o carne asada.
Double points because Wrestle Kingdom's today.
And that is
to Japanese wrestling.
We are up to 69 puns.
Stop, so no more. 0.
Now we must get at least 100 more. So we can exactly 100 more. So we get to 169. Yes. Jake Salazar says Sean Ross Crab. Jam Beard says green eggs and hammock. Ryan Sullivan says Booker T-Bone. Jackie 29. I don't know why I love this one. Zack Sabre Jr. cheeseburger.
Because there's a fast food innocence about it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
People are now, we are at the point people are seeing ones that weren't super chatted from other people and are sending them in.
Yes. This is what this is good.
I love us so much.
I'm sending them in. Jonathan Hedman says Vince McMahon-witch. Vince McMahon-witch, people. Jake Salazar says Ali Cease for the win. The Understaker.
Oh my goodness. Rest in medium rarity.
Can
you just see him sitting up with a steak knife?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Jambeard says from A Shock, double veal and the beef. Double vest and the beef is double veal and the beef.
A twofer.
A twofer. Macho Man Randy snap it to a Slim Jim says Showtime. That's just his endorsements.
Thinking.
Lord Kev says steam roast slab. Sean Ross Sapp is steam roast slab.
Oh, okay.
Wendy's Chew.
SRS. It still works.
Jambeard says Wendy's Chew. The Understaker theme is Rollin' by Limp Brisket. Says the NC Digital. that was Biker Staker. That was a whole different thing. Biker Staker was a different time. Biker Staker. Jeremy Hines says Jerry the King Lobster Stir Fry.
Oh, that's very good. That took me a second.
Oh
no.
Henry T. Casey.
Henry the Casey.
Yeah, Henry the Casey says Dom Mystery Roast is as talented as Disco Inferoast. This is just for Kate. Stan Hampson.
What would a lariat be?
Roy Costin says last one for me. Maxfield Jacob Friedham.
Oh, that's so good.
Maxfield Jacob Friedham.
Oh my gosh.
Oh Jesus, this is so good. This is Jake the Steak Roberts. Remember that time where he brought a T-bone?
It was a whole cow.
He pulled a T-bone out of his bag and he let it loose on Macho
Man. Yeah,
wow, that was scary.
Right for his arm. Miss Elizabeth came running down.
It was terrible. Miss Elizabeth was like, "Oh no, he's allergic to beef."
The idea of Miss Elizabeth running down to the ring because somebody threw a stick in Macho Man's arm. It's the greatest thing.
This, you will not get this in any other NXT review. If this even counts as an NXT review.
I don't know if it's good, but you definitely won't get it.
You won't get it. No.
I think it is, so I'm here to
Masha Sandwich.
Oh, that's very good. Masha Sandwich.
Yes, Samamich.
Tom
Uh,
oh no.
Chris Jared Chorizo.
I did not. Thank you all for being respectful. I did not think these were going to be my favorite puns of all time. But I think these are really
Minoru Souvlaki. Minoru Souvlaki. Hold on. I'm sorry. I have to. It's Minoru Souvlaki. It's Minoru Souvlaki. It's Minoru Souvlaki, everybody.
Oh my goodness.
Young Minoru Souvlaki.
Meat, you know what I mean? That is a piece of
what
meat
a wonderful
right there.
Mediterranean cut of meat that is. Oh my
And
God.
on Wrestle Kingdom, nonetheless. What a beautiful. Remember Souvlaki gun?
Souvlaki goon. Yeah. Shaki29 says, it's steak!
Oh, remember Surfer Steak?
Yeah, it's really good. We're up to a 94 puns already. Sloppy Joe Hendricks.
He appears. I believe in Sloppy Joe Hendry.
Butterhurst Helmsley. Butterhurst Hamsley from Jake Salazar. Orion Ben 666. Spears and Breeze's Wrestling School flat baby back ribs.
Very good. Flat baby back.
Ryan Ben says the lamiette. That's Caesar Steaks finisher, the rotisserie.
Lamiette.
Amish electrician. Problem that gets us trying back on track talking about the show. Apollo stews versus caramelized glaze.
Incredible work.
Incredible work. You guys are amazing.
It was a really good match till Trick Williams.
It was a good match. And afterwards, Axiom came out to attack Trick Williams.
This was also so lame.
And then they started the match immediately. And thank God, Axiom made very quick work of Trick Williams, as he should.
Yeah, but doesn't that make Apollo look kind of like a chump? Like immediately?
Well, no, he beat Trick Williams, who's a nobody, who's not a wrestler. He's a hype man masquerading as a fighter in some way.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I feel like Apollo Crews has been at this a while. If he was like distracted by the booking with Trick Williams, which everybody should be prepared for at this point.
That's dumb. But I would assume Apollo Crews would beat Trick Williams in 30 seconds. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
So that's my thing.
I'll take that. That's fair.
And then they attacked Axiom after the match, Trick and Carmelo, and then Apollo Crews made the save, and now Apollo Crews 99 puns already.
We are one match in.
We're one match in. Also, we're a half hour in, and we've talked about one match. Well, two matches.
I know, and I actually have to finish on time.
I know.
Ish.
It's not possible. Ish. So yes, Apollo Crews and Axiom versus Trick and Carmelo next week, I guess. The $1 Million Hand, Ted DB basted. The blue meaty. That's really good. It's blue meaty. It's good.
Oh my gosh. This is another
Tim
time.
Gray with awesome thing. John Seafood instead of John Cena. And by the way, my test results from my surgery last Tuesday came back benign. So here's some money to celebrate. Woohoo! Yeah. Give it up for benign. That's awesome.
We love that.
We do. That's amazing.
Very glad to hear that, Kim Gray.
Graham B says, I've got 99 puns, but a turducken.
That's a JC remix if I've ever heard.
I love this. As soon as Matthew Plush is up, what's the pun of the night? Meat puns.
Meat. Respectful.
Meat. Respectful meat puns.
Because it's Meat Normus's birthday. We can't forget
the New Day sent out. Yes, because Meat Normus's birthday today. The New Day sent out the S Boys to go look for something. An eyebrow, I think is what they said. But anyway, so they're sending them on a wild goose chase. That comes up later. And then they get walked up on by the dyad and the schism. I guess the schism is the dyad and the dyad is the schism. And
the dyad are within the schism, right?
Right. Whatever. The dism. The schizad. The schizad is out there. The schizad is out there, and they the skyad, they're out there. The dism. I like the dism.
Ooh.
The dism is really good. The dism, Yakitori Wilson. You guys are the best. Mr.
I don't want to talk about NXT. I want to do puns.
Mr. Showtime says Eddie King Crab.
Partner.
Partner. Okay, so anyway, Joe Buddhist the Barber beefsteak. It's very good.
Sorry, we can talk about the show now.
I mean, I want to get ahead so then we can just do puns. Let's go to the show as fast as possible, and then we'll just read puns.
Okay.
Okay. Venison Gagne. Thank you. So here we go. Joe Gacy talks some crap, and Kofi Kingston challenges him to a match. Is there anything specific in here you wanted to talk about? I thought we were gonna finally get grizzled young vets versus the New Day, and have the New Day insist that HBK let Zach Gibson and I can't remember his name, James Drake, out to play. Like, let them have their best match. No spooky shit, no 4 roots, 1 tree. Like New Day says, that's it. Great. You guys versus us next week at New Year's Evil. Let's do it. And we finally get a Grizzled Young Vets versus New Day match, which I've been wanting since sometime in 2019, and we finally will get it. And no.
They put the Rock's kid in this, man. They're full in on this gimmick. Yeah, I don't understand why
they'll still be performing the gimmick, but the match will be actually wrestled as though they are the Grizzled Young Vets, because they'll do all the good moves and they'll do all good timing, and they won't do like, oh, spooky. Anyway,
I mean, my guess is the New Day are holding the titles till they drop them to the Creeds at Rumble, whatever NXT's Rumble thing is going to be.
Vengeance Day is the pay-per-view. They're keeping them until then. The one where they actually on the road in Charlotte, the New Day are selling tickets to that.
That's right. So we might get that along the way. Like, it didn't happen tonight. I don't understand why Booker T is so A, fervently against the New Day, and B, in the corner of the schism is a weird thing.
Axel Explodes says, damn, I'm late for my favorite review show for a show I don't watch.
Quick, there's puns about meat.
Drew Goulash.
Henry the Casey. Coming in hot today.
Yeah, just great. We're going to get Joe Gacy versus Kofi Kingston later in the night. There's this, so Stax got kidnapped by Dijak and apparently taken to a secret location where they had an NXT camera filming them.
Yes.
You could have done this, set up with Dijak is there and he's got a tape recorder to tape record the conversation. He puts a cassette tape in a cassette recorder, not like one of those little mini recorders that they used to use in 2000, but a cassette recorder they used to use in 1985, and he puts a cassette in it and he pushes play and record. So you record this thing, but he doesn't have his own video camera set up with like grainy like camcorder footage, because that would actually make why is the camera? I hate this. Anyway, he has a very hard hitting like talk with Stacks about why he barged into his room and made demands. And I was like, are you recording this because you're going to get him to admit something? But he never really asked him any hard questions. And then, like, he just pushes stop on the record and takes out the cassette and walks away. And I don't know, like, did you get any evidence from this interrogation about what? You beat up a guy who was handcuffed to a chair, and then you left the key there on the table, but he's handcuffed to the chair, dude. How is he getting out of the what was how? Huh?
I mean, if you want someone to feel threatened, you just bring them to the parking lot.
Right. It's true.
But yeah, this is just a wrestling issue in general. Is like Pretty Peter Avalon, who's the hottest boy in AEW,
right,
said like he thinks wrestling should be less like sports and more like the Muppets because it's the show within the show. Mm-hmm. And so I love that, and I love Peter Avalon. Yes. But there is like that inevitable thing. That's like the one good thing that happens at the NWA. The one good thing that I give them credit for is like they're just at their podium delivering their promos, man. Like there's not like there's just an automatic barrier in wrestling of like, why is there a camera on this thing? So unless it's cell phone footage like the Fiend had, which was weirdly done but smarter, or like the weird StreamYard banner phone sessions between Mandy Rose and Toxic Attraction were weird, but they made more sense in the second iteration of when they did that. These are just odd, and
right.
I haven't seen a tape recorder since like I was born.
Yeah, that too. Like,
yeah, that's weird.
He is cosplaying like a Stallone character from 1986, so maybe he would have the same stuff.
Time travel? This is like how there was an answering machine for scripts at the PC.
But here's the other deal. Like on the other show, we saw a perfect kidnapper segment a couple of months ago with Swerve and Billy Gunn. That's how you do it. After it was done perfectly, you don't do it differently ever again.
Yeah.
They've perfected it. Now you must do it that way.
Sorry.
Andrade El Midalo. I'm done. My brain hurts. Andrade El Midalo is really, really good.
I couldn't let it scroll past.
Swine-ton bomb. That's good.
No!
Adrenaline in my soul. Searing, Kobe Roads. Beef Busick.
I'm just picturing
Texas
Cody and the
Rhodes
Cody
house,
Banner coming
or a
up.
house of blackened steaks. Anyway, Stacks has a match with Dijak to get even for being kidnapped and cassette taped. And
dun.
He gets in some offense because he's angry at Dijak, but Dijak wins because of course Dijak does. And then Tony D's like, hey, you think you can beat up this guy's got more heart than you? This guy's got more heart in his pinky finger than you got. Hey, I'm gonna beat you up next week. And so then we're gonna get Tony D'Angelo versus Dijak next week. I just wish they'd set up Tony D in a feud he can win, coming out of that awesome thing he did with Santos, where he was positioned after that to be a major part of NXT, and then he got hurt, and now he's like a guy who loses in the mid card. And I was like, you could have positioned him better. Still saying that, but that's just me.
And like the guy who it's implied killed one of his other lackeys Like, he shouldn't be the face. It's probably situations for a really, really long time, and it feels like they're the faces here. So that's just weird in general. You can't have like a baby face mobster.
Nope. It's hard to do, but they're doing it. Spamhausen.
Very nice, very fake.
Very good. So Oro Mensa is being interviewed, and Javier Bernal interrupts. I'm sorry to interrupt your interview. Actually, no, I'm not. And he says that he's going to. I've spent $14 sending in meat puns. I'm an adult. This is Mr. Showtime.
I know this isn't a super chat, but he is one of my favorite wrestlers ever. So.
Latino meat!
Viva la steaksa? Porksa? I don't know. Empanada? I don't know. Luis, help me out.
Viva la empanada! So anyway, Javier Bernal wants to show Mackenzie that he's releasing a Christmas album, and she says that was 2 weeks ago, and he says anybody can release a Christmas album at Christmas time. And the name of his Christmas album is Feliz Navidad, which is the one funny thing he's ever said.
That's pretty good.
So he's going to have a match with Oro Mensa later.
It should be Luis Navidad.
It's true.
Recognize that. Put some respect on our name at the SGS. No, I actually, this one I liked better than
Yoko Tuna.
It's so good.
Yoko Tuna is really good. So then Toxic Attraction cut a promo. It's like, we are the greatest women's faction in the history of this company. Even though the one that made us important is gone and made $1 million doing something else in a month. We're not going to talk about her, but we're still the best women's faction. Anyway, we're going to beat up Roxanne Perez. And then, hey, Kate, I got a knock-knock joke for you.
What's that?
Oh, ready? Okay. Knock-knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting promo.
Interrupting promo who?
Well. If it isn't person who came out before me. And they did that for like 8 girls. Literally, I think half of them said, well, if it isn't, and it's just like, come on. I mean, you've got a very deep women's roster, and good for you. The whole thing dissolves into a brawl. They beat each other up, and then Roxanne Perez is out there. She says, girls, you don't have to worry. In next week, there will be a 25 women battle royal, and the winner will get to face me at Vengeance Day. So good.
I don't know why you talk about how you're the best stable of all time, and now you're going after a singles champion. That doesn't make sense to me.
Thank you, Julie. I appreciate it. It's a very accurate depiction of the promo.
It is. Well, how the turntables, as they say on The Office.
That is what they say on The Office.
Yeah, I don't really know why the whole women's locker room broke down. Kind of felt unnecessary, maybe.
Well done, steak.
Hi, Alpha Bill. Welcome. It's respectful meat puns for Meat Normus's birthday. And we have to get to 169 or there's no more sour graps ever again.
Meat, sir. Meat puns, Bill. We are the greatest show that's ever been broadcast on YouTube.
We're just the greatest show.
Your period.
Well,
I did appreciate how the brawl led directly into the Extreme Resolution matches, even though I hate the title of the match.
Yeah, but this match was really good.
It was great. It was like, this is an extreme resolution match, and everything's extreme. Anything goes in the Extreme Resolution match. However, we're going to have like 4 referees lazily being like, knock it off. Hey, you can't do that. Stop it. Backstage while they're beating each other up for 9 minutes. And then finally like, hey, take it to the ring. All right, girls, come on. What are you doing? Knock it off. My favorite lazy ref instruction is knock it off. And,
or
Stacey
else.
Hathaway. Dr. Britt Baker, BLT. Oh, this is so good. Well, it's the pig show. Okay.
How many do we have?
Hold on. Hey, Luis, get the count, and I'm going to scroll up, and I'm going to read it, and I'm going to be really surprised. It's going to be great. Okay? So I'm going to give you like a minute to like get the count, and then I'm going to scroll up. Okay? Here we go. Veal, it's the big show. So the match was really good once it actually officially started, and actually before it officially started, it was still really good. There was I trapped your hand in a toolbox spot, which I had not seen before. I thought was good.
That was really cool.
Alba Fyre does a swanton off the top rope to a table on the outside, and like hurts herself more than she hurts Isla Dawn because she just glanced off of her and landed all the way to the floor. Like, ow. But then she does the gory bomb, the Kaylee Ray bomb through the table to get the victory. Actually, it's not a victory. She has to roll her into the ring to get the pin because it's not a false count anywhere, which it probably just should have been. Since it's an extreme resolution match, which doesn't exist, so you get to make the rules. So just make it a falls count anywhere match, which means it could have started out of the ring, and you wouldn't have had to have 4 referees going, hey, girls, come on, knock it off. Get in the ring, all right? You could have just been having a match.
My goodness. Yeah, it was a little... I noticed that too, but it was kind of my only complaint, so I didn't mind. But I thought this match was excellent. I was kind of confused by the booking, but I guess they're just not. I'm guessing at this point there's no call-ups till Rumble. Or yeah, like that spot where Michin came out yesterday. I was like, this would be a great place for Alba Fyre to debut. But we didn't have this match yet. But I thought this was awesome. Isla's really great in the ring. Man, like this is, and so is Alba Fyre, but we kind of knew that already a little bit more. I think this is Isla's best match since coming over to the States for sure. But this exceeded my expectations mightily. I figured this was going to be way more gimmicky than it was, and it was just a hardcore match, which begs the question why it's just called a hardcore match. But I think this might have been match of the night for me. Like I really liked this, and that it played to both of their strengths very, very well. I felt like Alba Fyre is underrated for how versatile she is, because she's tall and athletic, but she can also do really cool stuff off the top ropes. Like I think it's underestimated how well she works with opponents of any ring style and stature. She's really, really, really special.
Well, hold on. Booker T-Bone, we've gotten that before, CO, but thank you. It's really great. Amish Electrician says, Albacore Fyre versus Isla Prawn. Must see TV. Everybody in there, everybody in here who's like, hey, I think you missed it. No, there's literally pages and pages of these things that I haven't read yet because I'm trying to get really far ahead on the matches and then go back and read them for like 20 straight minutes just in case Sean shows up. So, it's like one of those things. So,
oh my God, there's so many.
There's so many.
I love you guys.
You guys are amazing. Into Share and Dem Loafs and authors of Plain, Caucasians of Pain. I used to call them the giant lumbering sacks of flour. These guys are the creeds. They have a road to basically, like,
yes,
It's good. It's really good. Looking forward to the match. As you say, you're thinking the Creeds versus the New Day.
Seems like that's where we're going, right?
Here's where I think we're doing. I think Indus beats the Creeds. I think Indus gets the match versus the New Day. I think Indus wins. I think the Creeds take the belts from Indus. I think that it is really dumb, and hopefully they know this too. They might not. They might just be stupid to build a match where we're waiting for you to be 100%. And then have that team who did the honorable thing, the heels, who did the honorable thing by waiting until they were 100%, just lose the match anyway. And you can't tell me the Creeds would be in prime position to get the title match from the New Day if they lose to Indus here. I think the long game is being played. I don't think the long game should be played, but I think they're playing the long game that the Creeds will take the belts from Indus at whatever the Mania thing is. I don't. Yeah,
they have a plan,
right?
Which is more than I can say.
True.
Usually, it's not a bad plan either. I think Indus having a short but effective title reign could be really good. I just wonder how much longer can you keep Julius Creed at NXT, man?
Right, for a while apparently. They kept Bron Breakker a year longer than I thought they were going to.
That's a good point. And you kind of said this last time. He's kind of one of those guys that you could call up tomorrow, or you could have him stick around, maybe work on his promos or whatever. But like, he's real good. So if you're looking for him to develop in the ring more, I don't know what else you're looking for from the guy. It's a tricky one because he's the breakout of the two. Yeah, they're on a track. He's a little bit ahead of Brutus. So,
shrimps with a Y. You understand?
I do.
Yeah.
I wish there was a really long poem to accompany that.
Oro Mensah defeated Javi Bernal. Of course he did. Good for Oro Mensah getting a win, getting back to it.
Yeah, he's very good.
Wonderful. Good. That's good. Backstage, Fallon is going to be in the Battle Royal.
Yeehaw!
Double Vest and the Beach are very upset. Yeehaw, indeed. And then Kiana James shows up to bury the hatchet. And the Beach is like, hey, whatever your name is, I don't know his actual name. Text me. And he goes, and then Double Vest and Fallon are like, when did this start? So, yeah,
like 8 weeks ago, man.
I don't know. It's just really, this is bad. This is all done. Brooks, that's his night. Beach, because I knew it started with BJ, because that's why he's the Beach.
That's part
Brooks.
of
Brooks is a virgin, says Luis Polito. That's his whole deal. So I love how I'm getting so far ahead of us. All right. Time to read some puns, because all we got left is a couple of matches and an ending segment that never should have ended the show. Here we go, everybody. Oh my God, there's so many. Oh Jesus, this is great. Okay, here we go. Lord Kev says Arby's Allen, or if you remember right, Rax. Remember Rax? Rax Hamwood. Not. We have beaten the record, everybody. The record was 170 duck puns. We are now at 173 meat puns. 175.
And we have to get to 269. Those are the rules.
We got 170 duck puns in 2 hours. We are 175 meat puns in less than an hour. You guys are honestly, this is the true thing. This show is keeping Fightful afloat.
We are. It's really
we have the smallest actual live audience of any review of the week because it's NXT, so who cares? But you guys support this show so much that sour chats, super chats, humper chats are down across. Yes, Avalana, meat puns tonight. Super chats and humper chats are down across the board on this show. Up. Why? Puns. Because it's all puns all the time, and you guys are awesome.
I'm getting nervous that we're gonna have to give Meet Normus a commission. But instead, we will give you one free pun, Meet Normus, or one free jukebox from Linda.
One free jukebox for yourself. Yes, absolutely. Would you like Linda to sing you anything specific? Let us know. Larry B. Dupree's III. Spoilers for Wrestle Kingdom. But Kenny Megamon will win with the gravy trigger, and will transform the Bullet Club sandwich into the Turkey Nexus. Axel Explodes says Von Wagyu, Understaker, Prawn Cena, Ray Meat Stereo. That's good.
You can't eat food.
You can't eat me.
See, I wasn't going to say that as a gal.
Zoot, 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 zoot. Zoot, 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 zoot. It's Prawn Cena. You can't eat him. Zoot, 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 zoot. CO says,
I missed you so much. I missed you so much.
Rib Isla Dawn, Sailor Saturn says Jonathan Gresham.
I like ones where you don't even have to change it. Those are special.
Jam Beard says, Bobby Fish. Perfect.
Right there. I mean, folks, where's the lie on that one?
Orion Ben says the chat record is toast. Bacon toast.
Oh.
Chris Pereira says Triple H beef, like a sledgehammer to your arteries. Double vest and the beach. Ponfar says double breast and the beef. Tyrone Kiz says Sushi Nakamura.
Oh, sushi it was so good to see
Nakamura.
I watched his entrance at Pro Wrestling Noah like 7 times.
And as the great Phil Lindsay said, you're telling me you watched that match and tell me that he needed to be paired with Boogs.
Yeah. Yeah.
The most prominent shit he has done in 2023 is be paired with a guitar clown.
Yeah.
And then you see him do that. My God. Jesse Ozog says, poultry shear me, Daddy Roundsteak. Daddy Roundsteak.
Daddy Roundsteak is amazing.
That is really good. Daddy Rump Roast.
Respectful. Very well.
Poultry shear me, Daddy Rump Roast. Greg Carter II, Fat Cap Moss. Jambeard says Billy Goat and Hot Dog, the new aged Outback. Alpha Bill, Brisket Reed, the former Jonah, Brisket Reed.
Louise, can you make sure that we get this?
Of course.
He's an affiliate tonight.
Get it. Lord Kev says Grill Goldberger. Jeez, chat looks like Mandy Rose's DMs. It's true. It's true. It's just all kinds of
Grill Goldberger. For some reason, I just feel like Bret Hart would hate that one.
Alpha Bill Montel Vontavious Porker. I can't. I'm done. Montel Vontavious Porker.
That's really, really
good. Jambeard says the great mutton. The great mutton.
The great mutton.
That's really great. Drake Salazar says Claudio Cannelloni.
That's very good.
Orion Ben with not a pun.
Well, then what the hell are we doing here, Orion Ben?
I don't know. He got put in here by Luis.
Says, what did you want to talk about? Wrestling?
For once, an extreme match felt like a blow off.
It actually did.
It did feel like a blow off.
It was a really good match, and it felt built to.
Luis says, "Look, there's too much meat puns." It's true. It's true. I'm not blaming you. I think it's funny. I also think it's funny that Orion Ben says, for once, it felt like a blow off, and yet it's not a blow off because Isla Dawn has won once and Kylie Ray has won once. So now it has to be another one, unfortunately. Says, I got overwhelmed by the meat. That's what Luis says. I got overwhelmed by the meat.
And if you are underwhelmed by your meat, go to bluechew.com, code Fightful.
JW Pringle says, Dino Nuggieshausen.
Thanks for kicking it old school. Very nice, very tiny.
Henry T. Casey says, the American Dragon Roll. Brian Daniel Soy.
I like that because he's vegan.
Ryan Sullivan says, Kevin Nashville Hot Chicken.
That's very good. What was his before that was so good?
Which one?
Brian Sullivan had a really good one before.
Oh, there were so many good ones, man. I can't even. No. They're so good. They're so good. Hey, were you on the show when I was talking about how Drew McIntyre is from Nashville? And
yes.
Went to the Raw last night, and on the way home, I'm gonna stop and pick up some Nashville hot chicken. As long as I'm in the neighborhood.
Yeah, because Drew McIntyre getting like size 15 cowboy boots cracks me up. Like, thought of him going into one of those stores.
Oh my god. Alpha Bill says Ulisa Loin, not Leon. Loin.
I have a soft spot in my heart for NXT ones because it's like it's special when it's the brand we're on.
Jake Salazar says Swerve Stakeland's Meat Goal affiliates, not Mogul Meat Goal.
Who's Steakhouse?
Swerve Steakhouse.
Terrible angle that he's in now.
Matthew Plus says triple threat match.
I wonder who helped him with that because we know he's not funny on his own.
Dungeon Master of Puppets says Maki Ito. Maki is a type of sushi. Thank you, Dungeon Master of Puppets, because I don't know that. I'm not a sushi guy. I love Japanese food otherwise, but I can't do sushi. Thing. CO says the WWE WOG Universal Championship. Jake Salazar says Porker Boudreaux, and he just walks around with the name Porker written on a chain that he does this with everywhere. This is my name.
It is dumb Porker. Baseball player friend.
Graham B says, imagine HBK looks up NXT review tonight and sees this.
Yeah, he can find out what real entertainment is. Okay, it's right here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so good. Amish Electrician says, Kebab-E the Braised Heenan.
I like that a lot.
I like Bobby JW Pringle also throwing in something for the other show for the actual wrestling.
Why?
What the hell was with all the weird stuff backstage? A wheelbarrow, a pallet of firewood. Do you notice that she hit her or threw her into the big styrofoam X that was spray painted with a rainbow? Like they still have that backstage.
Around? Yeah,
wasn't that was like a year ago? Like you just. That could go in the dumpster.
That was was the signal of the last brand switch, wasn't it?
Right.
Like
something might have been.
Came through it.
Yeah, where they chainsawed it or something, right?
Yeah, he chainsawed styrofoam.
Mm-hmm. Because that's what you do with it. Alpha Bill says Noam Deer. Noam Dar. And Luis says the next North American champ, mark my words. Antoine says Rob Van Ham. I believe we also got one in here that says Rib Van Dam. And I like both of them. Rib Van Ham, I think, is actually the best of both worlds.
That's really good, and it should be spray painted like his tights.
Mm-hmm. Chris Ferreira says the squared circle, the wrestling wing. Matthew Plus says Grillin' JR.
I like the ones that don't work. I was thinking about the move, the chicken wing. You don't have to do anything with that.
Yep. Chicken wing suplex.
Chicken wing.
There you go. Jake Salazar says sirloin, Sokoa, and Hammy Zane.
Oh, excellent. Hammy Zane's a really good one.
Hammy Zane's really good. Jake Salazar said it's Stakely Hathaway. Jam Beard says miso taka soup. Take soup.
Oh, like Takeshita's Twitter handle. Yeah. Very good. Mm-hmm. That took me a minute to get.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Sailor Saturn says Veal Mahan. Veal Mahan.
Veal is coming to Raw for like 20 weeks.
Jake Salazar says I fry my meat and veal. Is that a pun, or is that like you just telling us how you prepare your meat?
That's a good question.
No, I'm not sure.
I fry my.
Derek Evans, Nikita Loins. That's good. Matthew Plus says AEW Dark Meat.
I like that one. Except for its author.
I love it anyway. CO says meat sweats Steakums Freedham. Changing Maxwell into meat sweats is really good. Steakums.
I also like that there was a pun on every name in it.
So it's good. Jam Beard says, well, it's the big stew.
A big stew now. Stu Grayson, you could just leave.
Ooh, Avalab says Yoko tuna.
Oh,
like egg yolk. He says, why not egg it up? Yoko tuna. There you go.
That was the one that Ryan Sullivan had before that popped me.
Yeah, Yoko tuna. Yoko tuna. Really good. Matthew Plus says Bob backstraps. Jesse Ozog says Yas, JAS, jerked and dewy sausage. We are at 193 puns, you guys.
God love you.
Jake Salazar says ground Chuck Taylor.
Very good. We got a couple of those, I think. But
Alpha Bill says Rib Steiner.
Very good. I like
that. NCB says Drew McRib. Meat Norma says, I am the
JD McRibba.
Beef. Acknowledge meat. Acknowledge meat. Jake Salazar said it was for the Eddie Guerrero pun.
Oh, I eat my veal?
Yeah. I fry my meat, my veal. I fry my meat, my veal. There you go. That's
very good.
There you go. Jake Salazar says Sour Grouper Society.
That's just for life.
John Wick GM says Alex pulled Pawlowski.
That's you.
Mm-hmm. That's me. I feel touched. And Nick C says Dean Lamb roast.
Oh, like Ambrose. I was thinking Malenko, so I got confused. Nope. Yeah, okay. I'm in it.
Lamb roast.
I'm in now. I love it.
He's the lunatic fringe, Dean Lambrost. Ryan Sullivan says Theodore Long John Silvers. That man DB says Sasha Shanks. Ryan Sullivan says Big Sheep Ernie Lamb.
That's really good. Ernie Lamb's real good.
Sailor Saturn says cool ham and porker. I don't know why porker makes me laugh so much.
Entertainment.
Chris Robinson says, the great kielbasa.
Glikali?
I guess.
I mean,
Wrestle Kingdom. That's what he says. He says that. It's true. John Alexander says 5-star frog legs. We are now at over 200 meat puns.
Wow.
You guys are the absolute best. I can't believe it. We are 1 hour and 10 minutes into this show. We only have 2 more matches to talk about. Nobody is ready for kielbasa. Nobody is ready for kielbasa. Oh. Wow.
I heard it in her voice too.
Of course. Ryan Sullivan says Goldberger.
Very good.
Obvious. It's very good. It's very good.
Chris
Burr says Michael Cold Cuts.
I like that. I think I saw an Adam Cold Cuts out there too.
Yeah, it's good.
Very good.
Matthew Plus says Big Daddy Veal. Actually, Viscera just kind of works by itself.
Kind of does, yeah.
It almost does, yeah. Skysinge says USDA prime rib players. Roy Costin says, damn it. Jay Whitemeat and Colt Cobaina. Colt Cobaina.
Boom, boom.
Boom, boom, Colt Cobaina. Matthew Plus says Adam Cole fired grill. Eric Van Summeren Sr. says Dr. Brisket Baker BBQ. BBQ is very good.
Sorry, my doggo just got sick.
What's there? No.
Oh, you ate too fast. It's not okay. No.
Girl.
All right, I'll be right back. You keep mowing through some of the puns.
I will.
Take care of real fast.
Okay, you do that. True Infamous 73 says Alba Firebirds Bar and Grill. That's good. Grayson Walleye Salmon. Very good. Sam LaValle. Darius and Dante Martin. Top flank. Top flank. It's very, very good. Jeeve says, just got here and heard meat puns, so Vern Wiener. Come Tuesday. Jambeard says Rhea Ribeye. Taki Toaster says Champa and a hammerlock DDT. Hammerlock. Very good. Almost electrician. Hickory Sheeta. Like hickory smoked Sheeta. Very good. Very good. Meet Norma says favorite tag team, Veal and Shanky. Like a lamb Shanky. Insert clever username says Salmon Zane. Salmon Zane. Best review show on the planet. Orion Bennett, so true. Tell your friends. Tell your friends if they want to laugh like crazy about not wrestling, only peripherally so. Then they need to come here on Tuesday nights. And bring their debit cards. Jake Salazar says, not meat, but food related. Kenny by Gourd Omega. Very good. Jeremy Hines says Carlito Caribbean jerk chicken. Good. Scooter the Gamer says Maxwell Jacob filet mignon. Jake Salazar says Rib Van Dam. There it is. Tyrone Kidd says Macho Harris Randy Sausage. Ooh, yeah. Chris Pereira says the Big Sauce Man.
Oh, that's really good.
Big Sauce Man's really good.
I mean, on a technicality, because sauce accompanies meat, but
I mean, the Big Sauce Man definitely is a barbecue guy.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like he has a whole line of like it's like a local chain, like across 5 cities somewhere in like Kansas. There are Big Sauce Man like barbecue pits. And he somehow is grilling at all 5 places at any one time.
I'm just saying, more strict referees would have thrown a flag on the play. That's all I'm saying.
Not us. Not us. Though.
We're not like as bad as Rick Knox. We're not going to ignore everything.
No.
But we're gonna let you guys play. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm just saying that's not a technicality.
Whose house? Porterhouse. This is also true. Meet Normus. This is true. Yes, smash the like button. The people need to see this.
It's true.
They really do. They do.
It's important that they do for our intelligent wrestling analysis.
It's so absolutely. Jake Salazar says Blackpool Cooking Club, the BCC.
Very nice. Renee could name her cookbook that.
Mr. Showtime says Dean Meatlinko.
That's very good.
Chris Burra says Harlem preheat to 425 degrees. Ryan Sullivan says Ricky Morton's Steakhouse.
Sorry, I got distracted by this one because the people know, Alex.
Yep.
They know I love Techno Team 2000. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you need a lot of Eric Watts to get to that temperature.
We are now at 222 meat puns. 222.
We only need, do math, Kate, in your brain. We have to get to 269.
47.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I almost said 37.
FTR is fried tender ribeye.
Some people think it was for the release, but it's fried tender ribeye.
Tegan Locks and bagels. JW Pringle, Shamrock Steak.
Booyaka, booyaka.
Shamrock
Steak.
Henry T. Casey, Shank McMahon.
Oh, John Alexander, you must have come in a little bit late because
that was the first one we got. Still
but it's
one of the
so
best.
Beautiful
but
that
it's
like
still
here
good.
we are.
Well, I would read it out loud over and over again. Porterhouse Hobbs is so damn good.
So good. Porterhouse.
Porterhouse.
So good.
He should, when he retires, he should open up.
Hell yeah, he should. Why would he retire? This is AEW. People are allowed to make money in other ways. Let's do it now.
That's so true. NCB says Chelsea green eggs and ham. Alpha Bill says, okay, one last one. Liv Mignon,
sweetheart.
Out of my system. Not Liv Morgan, Liv Mignon. Okay, out of my
Alpha
system.
Bill. It's just famous last words every time you're like, last one. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Oh my God, this is so good. Larry B. Dupree's the third, the suicidal, hamicidal, bacon jamicidal, shabu.
Wow.
Suicidal's really good.
Wow.
Hamicidal's really good. Bacon jamicidal. Oh my God, bacon jamicidal. Tom LaValle says one last time, Sausage Banks. And I think legit. This is good because this gets us into our very, very hopefully not too long because I still have a couple more pages of these and they're all coming in hot.
A couple more pages of these.
Yeah. So, okay. Sasha Banks, Mercedes Varnado, posted, "Thank you, Sasha Banks," on Twitter. She's wrestling. We all know this. Even though they haven't announced it, we all know this. She's appearing and probably almost certainly wrestling at Wrestle Kingdom late tonight or in the morning, depending on where you are.
Probably about 3 a.m. Eastern, which is a bitch. That one hurts. That one hurts to miss if you have to sleep.
Yeah. So Jake Salazar says, "Oh, it's okay, guys. The crap show is over. Now we wait 5 hours for Wrestle Kingdom 17. God is good." Well, that was.
I'll just say that there are some newbies in the chat who are interested in Wrestle Kingdom, and it's probably because of Omega Ospreay and Sasha Banks. Just so you know, the show technically starts at 1:30. They kind of have some pre-show and Rumble matches that get paid off this year. The structure is going to get paid off at a later event or later time. The real kind of show begins at 3 a.m. And you're probably looking at a sun rising Kenny Omega Will Ospreay match. A lot of people need to sleep, which is normal. Before we get into the Mercedes stuff, I just want you to know, if this is your first Wrestle Kingdom, I stayed up night 1 last time. The vibe on Twitter is like you're a little kid at a sleepover. I swear to God, it's one of the few times everybody is just because you're not staying awake to be a dick on Twitter, right? Like if you're awake watching it, you love it. It's so fun. It's so communal. If this is the first time you're going to watch it, it's really special. It's very different presentation than in America. It's a lot more respectful to the idea of it being a sport in a lot of ways. It feels a lot more real. It's a blast, man. It's an absolute blast. Would strongly recommend, if you can reverse your body clock, to do it, because it's just so much damn fun. And I'll just say what I said on Twitter, which was Bayley and Sasha. The women's revolution was obviously an entire movement carried on the back of a lot of women, not just the 4 horsewomen, but I think Paige and AJ Lee and a lot of people that came before them. If you had to pick a moment when it started, if you picked a single match, it's got to be Sasha Bayley at TakeOver. It's got to be Sasha Bayley at TakeOver for me, and I think for most people. And that's something that's really, really special. And we talk about Ellie Cease in the chat all the time, right? There's a whole generation of young women who were coming up at that time. There's a whole generation of women who are my age that never got to experience women's wrestling in America presented that way before. And it is such a legacy for her to leave in WWE. It's such a special thing. It really changed the course of wrestling. I should say the Knockouts division at Impact kind of always been pretty boss, but in WWE at least it was not that way. And I'll also just say, and then I'll turn it over to Alex and Super Chats. Sasha could and has could be in television and has been in television. She could walk runways and has been walking runways. She could go into a studio. Her cousin is Snoop Dogg. She could never take a bump as long as she wants and still be a millionaire. She could also show up and her first match could be in AEW. Her first match could have been in WWE if she wanted to accept less money. Her choosing to go to Japan and quarantine for 2 weeks and have her first match be over there for a newly introduced New Japan Women's title is in the same way that FTR's every match is a love letter to tag team wrestling. To me, feels like this is a love letter to wrestling and women's wrestling. I think it's so special, and I think it's so badass that she chose to do it this way. These are her terms. I think it's incredible. Just means a ton to me as a fan. And I'm way more emotional about it than I thought I would be. I can't even imagine how an Ellie Cease is feeling, or people that that's their person. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like when they get to at 3 a.m. with Mountain Dew in their hand or whatever the hell's keeping them awake, get to see what she's about to do, because it's completely born out of love for professional wrestling. She's had a mental health journey. She's had injuries. She's had ups and downs in booking that can discourage the hell out of you from pursuing this stuff, man. And I think it's so special what's going to be happening at 3 a.m. Eastern time at a normal time in Japan to be watching pro wrestling. So anyway, that's my piece about it. Ode to the boss. I think she's an absolute badass. And 23 is going to be as crazy as 2022 if this shit keeps up.
Yeah, I think we've talked about it, that like that match changed everything. I think that there's somebody mentioned in the chat, Paige versus Emma, which I think is something that happened before that was I think monumental for its time, but I think it was one of those things of like, oh hey, these girls can go, good for them, as opposed to
AJ and Paige certainly too.
This just changed the game. Like there was a feel about that first takeover match in Brooklyn where it was like,
everything's different now.
Everything's different now.
You can't go back. Yeah,
and you can't go back. And it was the beginning of like, well, here's like my standards for women's wrestling just shot up 1,000% after watching that. What? I was like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to accept any of that other crap. Like, I'm just not. Like, if they can't do it, they can train and they can get better. But you need to let this kind of women's wrestling happen on your show. This is the kind of women's wrestling you book from now on. If they can do it, this is what they should be doing. Those two women never failed to impress going forward. I think Sasha Banks to me still is my GOAT. Like she's nobody does what she does, especially at the size that she is.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And so many of my favorite matches, women's matches, are Sasha Banks losses.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Isn't that so weird? Like
Sasha Banks and Bianca. Like you don't even have to go that far back.
Bianca, Sasha, Becky, and Hell in a Cell. Like
underrated.
Both Bayley matches in NXT. The one like awesome like when I will always remember Sasha Banks' victory is on Raw versus Charlotte Flair, the Falls Count Anywhere, where she had her in the bank statement inside the railing, just pulling on her back and that one. And they were like, oh, cool, you get to be champ for 2 weeks and we'll give that back to Charlotte. And I was like, you had everything in the palm of your hands to make Sasha Banks feel like something incredibly special in that moment when everyone was rooting for her, because again, she's such a great heel, but everyone was rooting for her, and the amount of people that would have gotten behind her, and you were like, you can hold on to that for 2 weeks or give that back to Charlotte. And it was like, oh no, they didn't capitalize on it at the top, at the absolute place where they could have. And since then, I always felt like she was there to look great in defeat. Yeah. Even when she was champion, it always felt like the real important moments, she's there to put over somebody and make that person look like $1 zillion when she does it. I think that she is one of those very rare performers who can make the loss work for them because of how good they are in the ring. But we'll see where she goes from here. It is a huge
textbook example of the way you lose is important is Sasha Banks. My maybe favorite Sasha Banks moment, not match, but moment, is that fan footage that caught her just smiling like an idiot when she realized that she just made Bianca Belair a star. Not that Bianca wasn't one on her own, one in the making, but that match was how she really got introduced to the main roster.
Yeah.
And that is so special. Like that, when you see a performer's reaction like that to losing, that's what that's all about, kids.
Yep.
So
anyway, Jam Beard says a lot of people are saying it'll be Banks wrestling Kyrie, but doesn't Kyrie already have a match? I don't know exactly how they're going to do this thing. It may just be her debut, but without actually wrestling. But they'll be setting up something. I'm not really sure how they're going to do it.
My guess
that is Kyrie. Almost certainly the program they're going to be moving into. So,
yeah, I don't think you pay for a Sasha Banks appearance and don't have her wrestle for what they're going to be paying her. My guess is Kyrie wrestles back to back, and maybe the first match is great but pretty short.
DNC Digital says, I'm not well versed in New Japan. Is the high excitement a normal response, or is this possibly a testament to the attention-drawing power of Mercedes? It's a normal response for people who are into New Japan. For people who aren't normally into New Japan, all of a sudden, this opens a whole new door for people to be like, I'm really excited about this thing I know nothing about. So I think that it's always a big deal to people who really care about New Japan and who care about all kinds of wrestling.
It's
for those who aren't.
Yeah. And I'll also say that there hasn't been this much excitement headed into Wrestle Kingdom since pre-pandemic, because they rely on a lot of international talent that just couldn't make it over, and they were doing a 2-night format and are now back to 1, which I think is extremely helpful. So
and Luis saying that New Japan also booked their best card in over 4 years. So,
easily.
So, Alpha Bill also saying, I should be working, but I have 50 meat tabs open.
Well, don't send the links because we don't know what you're talking about. But
Graham B says, I want Sasha and JPW to smash Jericho's influence.
Yeah, you know what? Can't take that away from Jericho. I can't.
Orion Ben says, there is no revolution or evolution without Mercedes and Bayley take over Brooklyn. There just isn't. Shot Kid says, Mercedes is about to light the world on fire. And then in the news, Naomi is in Japan too. It gets me even more excited for the future. What's your guys' most anticipated match for Wrestle Kingdom, and what do you think will be the best match? I think Kenny and Ospreay is going to be amazing, but whatever. I mean, I don't know how. I don't know how you couldn't be excited for whatever they're going to do with Mercedes. Like on that stage, making her first wrestling appearance since she was in WWE on that stage, they got something big planned.
Oh, it's going to be really so great. Special. And I think Kenny and Ospreay, it's had months of build going into it, which is a huge advantage over a lot of other feuds at the top of the new year, I think, just like in general. But Wrestle Kingdom as a whole is something. It's kind of like when you're like, wow, this WrestleMania is really well booked. That's where Wrestle Kingdom is at right now. But Kenny and Ospreay are two of my favorite performers of all time.
Since we never hear it again, it's sauce time. All right, back into the meat puns. Drew Nicholas says, William Meatgull.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
That man DB says, Evil Menudo. Jambeard says, Ernest the Catfish Miller. Chris Pereira, Hammy Callahan.
Oh, very good.
Wyatt 12 says, got meat sweat on my eye. Yeah, I swerve when I fry. Tom LaValle says, bad luck filet from Bullet Club Sandwich. Bad luck filet is really good.
Oh, that's great.
Feeling Creepy says, nutritious Wagyu order. NWO.
Oh, that's very good.
Jake Salazar says shrimp Bayless. Like, listen, let's not talk about that guy. Jeremy Hines says the Munster cheese among cheese, Braun Stroganoff.
I'm not finished with that meal.
I still have to cook for 5 more minutes.
Get these hams.
Get these hams. Okay.
You do such a good Bron. I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
Chris Pereira says moose.
Oh, see, I love ones like
that. Jake Salazar says braised Wyatt. Matthew Plus says the Butcher and the Blade. There you go.
It's perfect.
No. Ryan Ben 666 says Kobe Beefware and his pet Franks.
Oh, but Frankie did kind of turn into a piece of meat.
He did a little barbecue of Frankie. Yeah. Jada Pringle says double underhook BLT.
I like one Sutter Bet moves. Wait, I have a Frankie question, and it's a quick one.
Mm-hmm.
My friend Matt at the Shining Wizards podcast thinks that Coco had like 1 million birds, like Jake the Snake had like 100 snakes. Or do you think he had one bird, or do you think he had multiple birds?
Well, the birds, like the snakes, is difficult to travel with, but the parrot, they usually live a really long time, and you can train them. So, like, he would probably want to work with the same parrot because it's trained to do the same things, and it trusts Coco Beware. So that's
what I thought. And Jake the Snake, we all know, just hit.
Right.
So T-Bone's out there left and right.
That's right. Drew Oakley says Sloppy Joe Janela. Jam Beard says TL Whopper. Not TL Hopper. TL Whopper.
Very good one.
That's very good. CO says Road Warrior Tomahawk Steak. Feeling Dreepy says Salmon Joe.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I like the way that looks even better than it sounds.
It's better. Amish Electrician says John Hoxley with Renee Croquette.
Did we finish the show, by the way? Did we finish NXT?
No. So we still got a couple more matches. The Amish Electrician, so Jake Salazar says Ribeye Romero, Sirloin Joe, Meat Lee.
He is Limitless. What's a good Limitless pun?
I think he's doing Matt Lee.
Oh,
Daddy Magic.
That makes sense.
Jambeard says, "How could we forget Kate's chicken tenders?"
A moment
in time. John Alexander says the tribal beef ramen reigns. Jake Salazar says Brian Cage free eggs. Jake Salazar Rhea Ribsley.
Oh, very good.
The Ribtide. What a
devastating finisher.
Devastating finisher. Jambeard says Udon Morocco. Dwayne the Rump Johnson, says Jake Salazar. Shrimpske Nakamura. Shrimpske Nakamura. Brutus Beefcake, of course. Thank you. From Bruce Pereira. And Ryan Sullivan. Don Moroccan Chicken. Champion. This is even funnier if you picture it.
247 puns.
If you picture it, remember the moment. Now picture it. Chicken finger of doom. It's Hulk Hogan with a chicken tendy poking Kevin Nash in the chest with it. And he just collapses. Chicken finger of doom might be my favorite. It's not the best, but it might be my favorite because I'm picturing it with a chicken tendy. Jake Salazar says beef and Jensen. Double veal in the beef. And Ryan Sullivan says Hillbilly Slim Jim.
Very good.
Jake Salazar says Steak Hager. And Ponfar says a poulet cruise. I still like a pollo.
A pollo, yeah. It's just
because you don't even have to change the spelling. So apparently last week I predicted something that I predicted because I predict a lot of shit. That there was going to be an interaction between Drew Gulak and Andre Chase, and that they'd have a match. And hey, they did. The backstage, and Andre Chase, Duke Hudson oh, hello, Professor Chase. Just since you were in there grading papers, I thought I'll bring everyone from the school to over here to let Coach Gulak give us some pointers. And then it's like, I don't like Coach Gulak at all. I'm shutting this whole thing down. And then Gulak and him have a match because they don't like each other. Because Charlie Dempsey's got a bad arm.
They are overall just relying on injury and kayfabe injury way too much.
I don't know if it's kayfabe injury or like he literally wasn't able to wrestle because they planned it. Maybe he's got like I don't know a tweak in his elbow or something. I don't know. They planned the rest of the match. It was weird that they decided to do something instead. But Luis and I predicted apparently that this was going to happen. And so
it makes sense. Like teacher versus teacher is a fun.
And Chase is had a good match, like as you would expect, because they're both really good at what they do. But Andre Chase is saddled with a shitty gimmick. Yeah, but
they made it work here, right? I actually liked it.
I mean, here's the thing. You know how much more I would like the gimmick if Andre Chase came down to the ring in an ill-fitting singlet and headgear with a mouth guard and a towel over both shoulders and like big ugly knee pads and little short wrestling boots. Yeah. Like he's the professor, but when he has to wrestle, he wrestles like your gym coach would put on that gear.
Yep.
You know how much more I would like that gimmick than if you had him wrestle in a shirt and a button down underneath it? Like that makes it absurd, as opposed to like just have him if you have him be a comic character, he should own a pair of wrestling boots as opposed to wrestling in his Letterman sweater. That's just dumb. So
especially when the other guys drew freaking Gulak, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I actually kind of wish if they were going to do this, it got a little bit longer of a build of your school's a joke minus based on professional wrestling,
right?
Curriculum and academia. Could have been a fun build, but I doubt this is the last we see of it. I hope we get Duke Hudson versus Drew Gulak. I think that could be great. So those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, dressed like Rick Steiner. Honestly, what it should be? It should be Andre Chase dressed more like Michael Cole from his WrestleMania match.
That was literally what I was thinking of when you were describing him.
That's what his wrestling gear should be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He takes it really seriously as though it is a sporting competition, but he's wearing stuff from 1994. You know what I mean? He went
this is what wrestlers wear. Yeah.
This is what wrestlers wear. I'm teaching you how to be a wrestler, son.
Yep.
That would, I don't know, that would make it so much better anyway. So Gulak puts him in the Gulak, which, by the way, awesome finisher name for Drew Gulak.
So good. It's perfect. Good.
It's a dragon sleeper.
He would fit in.
He puts it in for way too long. After he taps out, he's still on it. And then Hank Walker's like, hey, what'd you tell me about letting guys out of the thing when they tap out of it? And he's like, hey, the win's a win, the win. And so anyway, Hank Walker versus Charlie Dempsey next week. Charlie Dempsey comes up and I don't like you. No, okay, so Andre Chase, fully babyface. Everyone loves Andre Chase. Duke Hudson, jury's still out. Drew Gulak apparently heel. Charlie Dempsey definitely heel. Hank Walker, babyface, working for the wrong team. This is a very weird little. I forgot who I'm supposed to root for this week, kind of thing. But I don't mind it. It'll work itself out. It should be a lot of fun by the end. Yeah,
I agree.
There you go. Wesley.
Thea Hale screaming girl fight at the top.
That was
also
when Thea Hale that was oh. So she was the one person who didn't go, well. She said, so many girls, girl fight, which I thought was great because she's on cocaine. Allegedly. Wesley by me. I allege, but I have no proof of it. Wesley has an interview where he says he's going to be at ringside for Tony D'Angelo versus Dijak next week, and that's all we got. That's all we need to say, right?
Yep.
Here's the thing. Hey, Shock, I cannot do a Charlie Dempsey impression because I don't understand him. He is obviously a British, he's obviously a character from
just do your
Lock, Stock,
William Regal.
No, he's obviously a character from Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. When he walks in, he's like, "Oi, you, me, let's fight next week." That's what he looks like. But then he opens his mouth, and I'm like, "Wait, where are you from?" And so it always messes me up. So no, I can't.
He has Dean Ambrose's hair.
Yeah,
I was like, is there a Regal thing where he's like, when you're in NXT, you have to have this hair?
A little bit, yeah. Kofi Kingston defeated Joe Gacy, and there was a time. Oh, there was a time during the match where I was like, they're actually going to have fucking Joe Gacy pin.
There were a couple of
fucking lose it, and thankfully they did not. And it was funny because this seemed to be the beginnings of a New Day versus the Dyad program. And then backstage, here comes the Yes Boys. Like, we got everything we possibly could that you asked us to. Now we want our match. And the New Day are like, what's this? Whatever. They're like, well, we'll prove ourselves to you by having a gauntlet match next week. We'll fight all the tag teams, and if we win, then you got to give us our title match. So at New Year's Evil, they're going to have a gauntlet match for a number one contendership kind of thing. If somebody else wins the gauntlet match, is that team the number one contender, or is it only a thing for the Yes Boys?
See, they do that a lot, and it's not my favorite, where it's like they just tip so heavily who it is, where the gauntlet isn't presented by every team that's in the gauntlet is like, here's why I'm in the gauntlet and why I think we're going to win. I don't know. I don't know if that was explained.
It wasn't.
I don't think it matters because it's pretty obvious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if they win, do we have to wait until Vengeance Day for them to get their title shot? For a title rematch? Probably, which seems weird.
What is Vengeance Day?
Anyway, so Joe Gacy loses because of a Trouble in Paradise. There was shenanigans.
He had trouble. Outside. He had trouble in Paradise.
In Paradise. Final segment of the night was Bron Breakker going on the Grayson Waller effect.
I did just want to say Xavier Woods on commentary, also being confused as to why Booker T hates them so much, popped me tremendously. Uh-huh. He was just like, "What are you rooting so hard for these other guys, man?
Yeah,
what
it was very odd.
Against us?"
I don't know, but he really. And also, Booker T needs to keep Big E's name out of his mother effing mouth. Like,
you are gonna Will Smith slap him.
I will. He's like, Big E is done. He's never coming back, and the New Day is done. I was like, you do not tell tales out of school, young man. That is not an okay thing for you to speculate about. Big E is a special boy, and I love him, and he will come back, and he will get revenge.
And he'll win a title, and he'll get booked properly.
That's right.
And everything will be perfect.
Right. Robert Lyle says, late to the pun party, but caramelized haze.
Thank you, Robert Lyle.
So, anyway, Bron Breakker goes on the Grayson Waller effect, and is nice to Grayson Waller, which weirds out Grayson Waller until he Bron Breakker cuts a promo about how all of the shit that you mentioned, all your big moments, your viral moments, is just a bunch of, bunch of crap.
Moments where you still lose, yeah.
Yeah. So you can do your big viral moment. I'm still gonna win. And you're just all you do is copy your dad's gimmick. And then Bron Breakker Does he punch him or something? Whatever. Then he gives him the little the gorilla press slam thing. And Bron Breakker standing tall the week before the pay-per-view makes me a little upset, but we'll see.
I tweeted and I stand by that this had about as much heat as a birthday candle.
It was not good.
This was not good. Yeah, and I don't know what it I liked Grayson Waller calling out the spear thing. I thought that was good. Him saying that Bron Breakker hasn't done anything when he's been champion for as long as he have doesn't work.
So
like it just doesn't. That's the second week in a row where Grayson Waller's just made things up. And it doesn't look like arrogance. It looks like he doesn't exist in the world where wrestling takes place. Yeah. So that part doesn't click for me. Yeah. This felt like between two ferns if that sketch wasn't funny. It like didn't work. Bron Breakker being nice to him to throw him off didn't click in. Like, I think Bron is good at what he does, but when he tries to widen that alley a little bit too far, it doesn't really work. So if they're waiting on him to develop that, then that's something that still needs attention. But this didn't feel like a good go-home segment, unfortunately. I think the match will be pretty good. And my complaints with Grayson Waller are rarely anything ring-related other than his dumb finisher. But I just didn't like the all you've done here to steal your dad's gimmick thing doesn't work when he's been champion for as long as he has. And his best matches have been of recent with Tyler Bate and JD McDonough. And like all of his best ones have been on the second half of this reign. So doesn't really work.
Yep. Chris Pereira says Kenny Omega 3. Jambeard says Fanmango Chicken and Tyler Beef. Together they are Beef Mango.
Beef Mango. Excellent.
Jambeard says Harvey's Whippleman. That man DB says Sonny Quiche.
Great took us on that Sonny Quiche.
CO says Drew Goulash and Stu Grayson.
It's perfect.
Yep. Matthew Plus says Sean Spear Hunting, which is how you get a Bobby Fish.
Very primal, yeah.
And Matthew Plus says Salt Baby.
Very good.
I think I pinched a nerve.
Oh no!
Ow!
We got to stretch before we do these shows.
I got to stretch before I do these things. Eric Van Summeren Sr. says freshly braised orange beefaroni.
There's something there with orange chicken, but I couldn't find it.
Matthew Plus says steel cage free eggs.
Very good.
Matthew from Lord Kev, ground Bork Lesnar. No, CO, this was not done. I'm sure this was done. He says, but Kenny Omaha Steaks. Money for hurting Al. He sent us money to celebrate him doing something that made me hurt myself. Jam Beard says Joe Gravy, not Joe Gacy. Joe Gravy.
Very good.
This is Jeeve. Very good, Jeeve. Rotisserie Deeb.
I miss her, man. Oh, I miss her on my screen.
There we go. Tom of Ice says earlier someone else said Duck à l'orange Cassidy. There you
Very
go. Good. And Jam Beard says Drew McHaggis.
That's a really strong one to end on.
It's good. It's good. We are at 260.
Yeah.
260. We beat the old record by 90 puns.
I actually have to jump because I have to get this other
I know.
up.
Sure. Yeah. You know how it works. But you have to be here so I can sing happy birthday to meet Norma.
This is really good. Too.
Torture Rack of Lambs is really good. Here we go. There's only 2 requests. We're cutting it off. No more anything. No more anything.
Unless it's 8 of them. It can be 8 or 0. We're so close to 269.
Okay, here we go. Happy birthday, Meet Normus. Happy birthday, Meet Normus. Happy birthday, Meet Normus. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Meet Normus.
And many more.
And many more. And then, hold on, we got one here. Nathan Frazier does hot dog by They Might Be Giants. So here, I'm just because it's your favorite, I'm gonna do it. Here we go.
I love that.
Here we go. All right. Hot dog, hot diggity dog. Not we got ears. It's time for cheers. Hot dog, the problem solved. Hot dog, hot diggity dog. Grab my boots and a sandwich. Let's start a parade. Get the coconut drum kit for Daisy to play. Hot dog, hot diggity dog. We're taking off. We're dancing now. Hot dog, leapfrog, and holy cow. Hot dog, hot diggity dog, It's a brand new day. What you waiting for? Get up, stretch out, stomp on the floor. Hot dog, diggity dog. We're splitting the scene. We're full of beans. So long for now from Mickey Mouse in the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Hot dog, diggity dog. And Bob's your uncle.
There it is. Crushed it.
Thank you, everybody. Go either watch Kate, watch Sasha and Bayley, or come over to my YouTube channel where I'm going to be playing like an hour of Red Dead 2. It should be fun. So yeah, do that.
Y'all have multiple screens. Pull them both up.
Yeah. Come on. All of it. Let's do it. Thank you, everybody. You guys rule. Over 260 puns about meat. You guys are the best. We love you. Keep
you don't suck.
No, you don't.